I'm Jen Sui. I'm a health and life coach empowering women to break through their fears, be confident in their authentic self, and create thriving relationships along the way. This is the Find Your Freedom podcast. Hi friends, welcome to the Find Your Freedom podcast. I'm so excited that you're here and you're joining me today for the first ever episode of the Find Your Freedom podcast with Jen Sui, of course. I'm so excited that you're here. We're going to be talking all about the key to unshakable self-confidence. What a way to start the show, because self-confidence is really the root of freedom, in my opinion. I don't know about you, but I think that is true. And before we get into it, I want to ask you what you think self-confidence is. And you can just answer this for yourself, think about it a little bit. What does self-confidence look like to you, and what does it mean? So personally, I think in order to understand how to get confident, how to have unshakable self-confidence, you have to be able to define it for yourself first. And to me, self-confidence is being able to be your authentic self. It's about knowing your truth, speaking and living your truth. It's about showing up as genuinely as you can, just being yourself and not giving a fuck about what other people have to say about you or think about you, because you know that you always have your own back. And that is where self-confidence really is. And I think people get tripped up every now and then because they think confidence is about other people's perceptions. It's about if you are perceived as confident, if people see you wearing the clothes or like having the car or like having the money and doing the things that they think like confident people should be. I think sometimes also confidence gets mixed up with like cockiness and also just being like, I don't know, just kind of being a bitch sometimes. And that's not really where I think true self-confidence is. To me, true self-confidence is all about you. And it has to come from within. So instead of thinking confidence comes from other people's perceptions and trying to be the person that somebody would say is confident, it's about how you feel about yourself and how can you feel grounded in who you are enough to show up as yourself, to show up for yourself, to serve yourself first, and have that come from within. So here's the key. And I'm not bullshitting you on this, okay? It's gonna sound a little bit woo-woo. I don't care, because this is truth. This is my truth. And to me, the key to unshakable self-confidence is self-love. Okay, it's self-love, that's it. And it's not the wishy-washy version that you might think from, like, I don't know, social media maybe, or even if you have any negative connotations around that concept of self-love. Like, if you're turned off by it and you think it's kind of gross or icky, or, you're just like, oh, that's not really for me, it's very feminine, or just like a societal construct, I don't know. Whatever your preconceived notions of self-love is, I really don't give a shit, because my version of self-love is exactly the same as like self-confidence. That is where you draw it from. It's about showing up for yourself, understanding yourself, listening to yourself, listening to what your body, your mind is telling you, listening to who you are truly and who you want to be, and tuning into that higher self. Being intuitive means to be able to trust yourself and listen, right? Quiet down the mind enough to actually know like what is your own thinking versus where are you actually being influenced by other people. So self-confidence comes from being able to love yourself enough where you can serve yourself and show up for yourself and befriend yourself. And if you can hold that kind of non-judgmental space for yourself, allow yourself to take action from a place of love instead of a place of fear or not being enough or because you think you have to be a certain way, then you can really just be free. You can be free to be who you are, and you can be confident that you are your truest self, because no one else can tell you how to be yourself. Only you can do that. And let's say you do have fears of, coming out almost as yourself. Maybe there's a part of you that you've been hiding or that you don't talk about much, or you think, there's something maybe you're ashamed of, but you that you like, and you're afraid to share that part of yourself, well, guess what? Like, the people who really matter are not going to care, and the people who care negatively are not the ones who are going to matter. Okay? So the more often that you can actually practice standing in your power, practicing self-love, really getting to know yourself and trust yourself, and then just show up genuinely, the more you can just face your fears without the fear of failure, and actually welcome failure, welcome mistakes, because again, you're holding a non-judgmental space for yourself. You're not saying like, oh, I totally fucked up here, and like, you're so not like worthy, you're not good enough, you have to work harder, like, who do you think you are, right? That is a judgmental space that no one is going to find confidence in. It's impossible, because how can you be self-confident if there's a part of you that's just telling you you're never going to be enough, right? If you really believe that you're never going to be enough, that you're not good enough, that you always have to work harder, that it's about external validation, those two concepts can exist in your body, and you can't find true confidence from that. You really can't, because one of them has to be true. And only your higher self knows what that is, and it's not going to be the one that's telling you that you're an imposter. I'm sorry, it's just not. It's not going to be it. So break through that, welcome failures, make mistakes, because you are a human, and instead of being afraid of them, you can learn from them. Learn from them, heal from them, find your power in them, embrace them, be proud of them. And then in that non-judgmental, loving space, you will find confidence. You will find the ability to just trust in yourself, to keep fighting, and to just have your own back. So if you take nothing from today's episode, it's really just that. Have your own back, and that will give you unshakable self-confidence. Anytime you try to be somebody else, anytime you doubt yourself or fight yourself on something, that brings you further and further away from confidence, because you're not truly being who you are. You're not living your truth. You're creating more cognitive dissonance. It's like getting further and further away, right? It's like you're running away from where you actually want to go, because you think that where you want to go is wrong, or that you think who you actually want to be, it shouldn't be the person you want to be because someone else told you. So run towards yourself, love yourself, go find the friend in you, and everything will be okay. All right, so unshakable self-confidence equals self-love. Go and hold non-judgmental space for you guys. But if you want to vibe higher, if you really could take what I said and resonated with anything in here, I would love for you to connect with me. So you can go ahead and follow me on Instagram at Jencui Health. That's JENCUI Health. And the link in my bio there will give you free access to my ebook, 100 Ways to Tell Yourself I Love You, because obviously now we know self-confidence comes from self-love. So I want you to go love yourself. And that link will also have an invite to join my private Discord community. It's a community of amazing people who are so loving, so genuine, and all working to be their best, highest versions of themselves. Okay, that is everything from me today, guys. It's been a pleasure, and I hope to see you soon in the next episode. Until then, take care.